Hello guys, Wahoo here, back in another video. This time around we are going to talk about a new tome. The new update just hit the new marketplace update where we're now taxed on what we are putting on the marketplace. There also was a tome, the NEKONOMICON, I think that's what it's called. I'll show you guys right here. Have to be on the legendary ones, and you go down and this one is the name of it. So maybe I said it wrong, but yeah, that's the name of it. Basically what it does and why I'm making a video is that it gives you a buff, and then you can see some stuff that you normally can if you don't have the buff, and it takes a long time to also fill it up. It does say that, they said that at least, that they were going to change that, which is, I think, is really cool. We always had the same duration or how long it would take to fill up tomes, and I hope for the future that we can get tomes that are also longer than this one, but also shorter than a normal one. So some of them won't take as long and some take like a longer time and such. That just makes it much more cooler than it always has to be the same, and there's a difference to it, and you can kind of plan your way around. But I'm going to take you through the steps there is to getting this tome here, and also what it kind of does with the buff and such. So let's just jump into step number one. All right, so step number one is acquiring the book, or the tome as it also is called. We need to have our rune crafting on, and with that said, I really hope that they soon are going to get rune crafting to 300. I do have a 250 guide in the description. It's a bit older, but it still works as it is, but I would really love to make a new one because it's very early in my YouTube career, if you can say it like that, if you can even call it a career, right? But it's very early on, and I just really want to make a new one for 300. I've done so for the other professions. It's the last one we're missing, so I really hope in the future we'll get to that one as well. That was just a little bit of a personal sidestep there, but the way you are going to get your runic crafting bench is that you go to your novice crafting bench, you make yourself the builder's crafting bench, then you go to the builder's crafting bench, and then under professions, you can get yourself the rune crafting bench. So now that we got the rune crafting bench, we can put it down in Club World. You can also use others, but you can also use the ones in Club, or put one in your cornerstone as well. So you put down the rune bench, and then you need to get to 250. In the description, like I said, there is the guide to getting to 250, because we need to get up to the runing master. Again, I wish that we could get to 300 someday, and the tome should be right here. Why is it not right here? You might be asking. Well, that is because we need superstition. And you might also be wondering, what is superstition? It was an April Fool's stat they added very early on in the game. Actually, before I started playing, they added it because they wanted, you know, to make a fun with people, you know, April Fools. And you can also see it in, you probably also wondered what it is. It is right down right here, superstition, right here under the core efficiency. That's of course a mod. It would be under your critical damage if you don't have the core efficiency mod. It says superstition, and as you can see, definitely might do something. And if you ask the devs, they say, well, it might be something, it might not be something. Basically what they said it was is that the more superstition you had, the more luck you would have with opening things, finding things and stuff like that. That was at least what it's supposed to do, but when you ask the devs, they say, hey, it might do, it might not do, and yeah, we're pretty sure now that it doesn't do anything, but again, they would never completely tell us what it would do or not. But we do need superstition to see the tome in the crafting bench. So how are we going to get superstition? Well, we're going to do that through an ally. There's a bunch of allies. I'll also link that in the description. There's a bunch of allies. There's also a mount. Most of them are tied into events, but there is actually one that's pretty easy to come by. It's ally, and I will show you guys just in a minute where you are going to get that one. It's through the Chaos Crafter. But yeah, there's a bunch of them. Go check the description. You might already have one, so you don't have to go ahead and craft one. But if you have everything from the Chaos Crafter, you can get yourself this tome as well. So we are going to go under chaotic allies, and we're going to find the Gasper ally. I'll just give 1 second. I'll just find it here. There's a bunch of them. I have all of them, and it's a very mess. So I'll find it in 2 seconds, and you will see it right here. All right, so I already found the Gasper down here. It's one of the new ones, so you might have to go down here. You need 6 of the cores. You can also get it, of course, for opening cash chests. You might just randomly get it, and you can get it from there. But it's going to cost you 30,000 flux, 50 somber souls, and 6 cores from the chaos crafter, or from the cash chest. Sorry, from the cash chest, you get those ones as well. But you can also randomly open it as well. There's another one around here. I won't show you that one because it's a lot more expensive. I looked up the prices, and this one is the cheapest one you can do, but there's also an other ally you can get. But again, check out the description for Trovosaurus, where they have gathered all the ones that has superstition. You might also have one from event or whatever, so just go check that one out. But we have to make this one. As you can see, we need those, we actually need 13 superstition to actually see it in the workbench, and this one has 20, and it's pretty easy to get this. The Zombosaur's a little pricey, but not too hard to come by. 30,000 is of course 30,000, and of course it's not tradable, so you gotta get those from somewhere. But when you have equipped this one or acquired it, all you have to do, as you can see, I still have not acquired it, but if you shut this down, we go to our allies, and I actually favorite, I think I favorite, I did not, of course, for the video. Gasper is right here. I equipped that one, and if I don't now go into the rune crafting and go under here, you can see here is the tome. So that's all you need to do to find yourself the tome. It's gonna cost you 666 bones, so you can go out and get yourself those, or you can get off the marketplace if you want to, but that's the devil's tome, I guess it's the devil's tome. So I'm gonna go ahead and craft this one. As you can see, I'm gonna go and do that. Boom, and that's actually gonna give me 100 mastery point and actually level me up. That was actually pretty cool. So now you can see it's still there right here. If I go ahead again, just pick the ally, because I need to do that anyway, pick the ally that I usually use, and I go here and it's gone again, as you can see here. So yeah, you need that 13 superstition, and that's how you are going to get the tome. So that was step number 1, acquiring the tome. The next thing is filling it up. So we're gonna get into step number 2. All right, so we got step number 2, and we're not gonna go ahead and fill it in this video. It would take a very, very long time, but we can do a little bit of a trick where we're kind of filling up this whole thing, and then we are gonna switch. It's not gonna go completely, but it's gonna seem like it goes, you know, a little bit faster. But you can see my bar here is, you know, it's not half full. I would say maybe 1/3 of the way. But if I do switch to the other tome, as you can see, that's why you can fill this one up, but it's not gonna work the same way. So now I'm going to remove that. And as you can see, now the bar is all the way down here, and you can actually see when I do switch back to the other tome and click really quickly, you can see now it fills all the way up to there again. And that's because that it takes way longer to get this one as well. So basically the tome is, or the trick is to fill that one up. You can't really do, you know, yes, you can do another one and kind of get it all the way to the end, but when you switch, yes, it's gonna go back down, so maybe it's gonna end up here, so it's gonna take you the same time. You can't really do any trick where you're kind of getting the other tome working. Like you can basically get another tome to easier and then switch over, and then it will be like right there, and you can get the buff. But when you do have filled it up, there is some stuff as well, and I'm gonna talk about that in step number 3. So for step number 3, when you have filled it up, you are going to get a buff of 13 hours. I do not know if this buff lasts through a lockout and stuff. You have to see that yourself. My guess would be testing it out where you, like, you know, get the buff and then wait out an hour, see if the timer went down or something like that. That is at least what I would do, and see if you can. But 13 hours should be enough to have this one on, because when you are in the Cursed Valley, so in the Cursed Valley, this one has the most Cursed Valley. That's why I went here. You can see here, that is where there is the most Cursed Valley. There's not so much as actually in this one, but there is a lot more in this when you go to that one. And around the outposts, not only here, it says on all the outposts, so I don't think it's only in the Cursed Valley, but in the Cursed Valley we do have to find the workbench that we need. But there is going to be an NPC here when, I'm not sure really where it's going to be standing, but it should be around the outpost. This one has 2 different outposts. I'm pretty sure it's just at all the outposts. When you do have the grave site, as it's called, that's the buff. So when you have that, you should be able to see another NPC that is around here. And for the workbench, that's the one we're going to talk about now, is that there is also, when you have that, you can, in the Cursed Valley, because that's where we are right now, there is of course dungeons, and this has to be in the Cursed Valley. You cannot do this anywhere else, but you do have to be in a Cursed Valley biome and go through the dungeons. And through the dungeons, as somebody has actually cleared this one over here, I'm just gonna go through the yellow portal, because around here, I would assume it's around where the boss, you know, ends, but it could be through the whole dungeon. So some of them, I've seen a few pictures, and some of them Not this one specifically, but other ones seem to be around where the boss spawns. So it could be basically anywhere in the dungeon. So just be aware of that. So if you don't, it's not around them here, and you do have the buff, you should be able to see a workbench somewhere here. It might be a little hidden, so you might have to run around a little bit. There is 4 different, that's what I'm saying, there's 4 different workbenches, and it's not like it's changing every single time, so you might actually get the same one 2 times in a row, but you just have to go from dungeon to dungeon and get yourself the tome that way. Of course, having the buff, 13 hours should be enough to get that, and then you can craft 4 different ones. And when you've done that, you're basically done with the dungeons. But there is that NPC that you can buy something from every single week, but it has a weekly reset basically. So you have to do that every single week, get the buff, and you know, find an outpost and look what that NPC is selling to you. So yeah, when you have crafted the 4 different, or there's 1 item per workbench, when you have the buff, that's where you are going to do so. So that's basically all there is to it with the tome. Basically fill it up, you know, acquire the tome, fill it up, get the buff, the gravesite, go to the dungeons, find the workbenches, 4 different ones, and get the different things you can get in them. I can't remember which one it is, different things, but there's 4 different things, so just keep looking through them. And lastly, of course, the NPC that is around where you do have the buff. So, and also, if you don't want to get the stuff, I'm pretty sure I won't go around getting this one. I'm not pretty sure I don't want to get the buff either. Maybe at some point and getting the stuff, I don't know. It's kind of like a one-time deal, especially with the workbenches. Like, yes, there's some awesome stuff in there, and yes, it does give some mastery. I think it's like approximately 200 points or something like that. So maybe one day I will fill it up if I have a lot of time and I've done all of my other tomes. I'll get myself the buff and then find the NPC, maybe do the, you know, maybe do it on stream sometime if I ever get back to streaming or whatever. But yeah, that's definitely how you are going to do so. But at least 100 points for getting a tome is pretty awesome. And it was, again, very cheap to make. And yes, you do have to make the ally, but maybe, again, you have one from an event or whatnot. So that was the thing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informational. That's at least what the goal was. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! That's it for the video. Click the video on screen that's coming up right now. YouTube thinks you might like it. Also, check out the description for all my ultimate guides that goes into more specific things in Trove. And also, hit that like button, would help me out very, very much. Also, consider subscribing. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!